Welcome to Waywut, your weekly verbal double take. This is a rabbit hole podcast where a couple of old guys do moderate to shallow dives into various topics, ranging from true crime, paranormal, sports, pop culture, or anything else that we find interesting. We drop episodes every Tuesday and on Fridays if we feel like it. You can follow us on Facebook, X, and TikTok. We appreciate you joining us. And now that we got all this self-promotion stuff out of the way, here we go.
Well, hello there, and thank you for joining us. My name is Jason, and today I have the whistle, clipboard, and laminated play sheet as I bring us another topic that made me say, "Wait, what?"
Hey, so does that mean you're a third-string quarterback?
Yep.
Okay.
Joining me as always, looking like a coach from 1980 with his trucker hat, short gray shorts, and a skull can impression in his back pocket, Darrell Holiday.
No. Trucker hat maybe. But I'm wearing my Walking Dead pajama bottoms and my Beavis and Butthead fluffy socks.
I picture you in short gray shorts, just like our coaches wore back in middle school.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I did have some of those shorts when I was back in the 90s, and it was all fine and well until one day, I had my leg up while I was sitting down, and somebody saw my balls.
Those shorts have a tendency of flopping out your balls.
You know what? I think it's time for a change in fashion.
Yeah, I think plenty of us saw our coaches' balls doing the same thing.
Gross.
They said, "Hey, well, I mean, you know how it was."
Yeah.
Well, scrolling Facebook these days just isn't the same. I mostly see shit from people or pages I don't even know. Random ass videos that, of course, I'll stop down and watch. I have gotten many Christmas ideas over the years this way. I have also learned all kinds of miscellaneous info. I have gotten ideas for podcast topics. I have also become very aware of professional slap fighting. Sounds ridiculous. It is ridiculous. These people slap the shit out of each other. And I was watching.
Oh.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Now, there's a couple of things I've learned because of that. Like, one, they have little person slap fighting. So people with dwarfism doing that, which is awesome. Another thing, I don't know if you've ever come across this, armored MMA.
Yes. Yes, where they got a full suit of armor on and swords and a shield, and they're beating the shit out of each other.
Yep, me and Trip sat around watching a bunch of those one day. They used to do it in Dallas. You used to be able to go watch it in Dallas, which I was like, oh, and then I looked up the website, and apparently it looks like it went under. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, that's a cool thing, though.
Yeah, that was also in the same rabbit hole of like combat sports where we came across cardjutsu.
Cardjutsu, when they do cardjutsu or in the car? Jiu-jitsu in the car?
Yeah, they have to both start buckled up, and they each have a round in the driver's seat, and yeah, they can use anything in the car as part of it. They'll like tie each other up with like fucking seatbelts and shit.
Wow, that's cool. Well, that's a pretty good segue as what we're going to be talking about here in a bit.
Okay.
Talking about slap fighting. Yet there is a major following for slap fighting. You get big crowds, you got big stars already. It's a big following. Even the UFC has gotten involved.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they own like the professional slap fighting league or something where they promote these big slap fights.
Do they promote the little ones too with the little people?
Yeah. You can't put limits on slapping. Everybody could get slapped.
Well, I mean, you still have to put like weight limits and stuff. Dear God, could you imagine some 300-pound dude slapping like some like 120-pound little person?
Yeah, that would be slapped against the wall. Bless you.
Thank you.
But the most ridiculous or the most obscene slap fighting one I've seen where this guy's eye swole up real bad, like to the point it looked like he was on Rocky. And when the guy slapped him one more time, it literally popped his eye.
Ugh.
It was disgusting.
Like hanging out?
No, it popped like the pus or the swollen part, kind of like on Mick. We said, "Cut me, Mick, cut me."
Ah,
They cut him, but
so
with
it
a slap.
ruptured.
It ruptured, and when he did it, it popped and it went all over the crowd. It went. It was gross. It was gross.
Okay, yeah, now I don't need to see slap fighting in person. All right.
No, but anybody wants to see that, I'm sure there's a video on YouTube on somebody's eye getting popped out on slap fighting.
You can sit in the splash zone.
Yeah, it was gross. Everybody was in the crowd with a shocked look on their face, like, "Did this just happen? Did this guy's eye just pop all over me?"
Well, there's enough people that are probably into it where now when you go see a slap fight, it's like the front two rows of a Gallagher comedy show. Remember the guy that
Yeah,
would
at
smash
SeaWorld,
watermelons?
yeah, or
And
SeaWorld, Splash Zone,
yeah, everybody's like wearing garbage bags and like, yeah.
Gallagher. That was great. Well, well, this will be a part two of a prior episode where we talked about wild ass sports. Well, Squirrel, I know you're asking yourself, why do we need a part two? Well, the answer is simple. Like you just alluded to, the world is filled with weirdo sports. They could not all be covered in just one episode.
True.
Hell, it won't even be covered in two episodes. So here are a few more to whet that appetite. So grab your popcorn, find your seat, and as the second half is about to get underway.
Do you need me to do the announcer voice thing?
Absolutely. This is your
Do
time to shine.
right now? Okay.
Absolutely.
Welcome to the wide world of weirdo sports.
Part two.
Part 2.
All right.
I was just gonna let it just like be like a that's the title, but you know what I guess part 2.
This first one is pretty dumb. It's actually something your mom worried or something your mom warned you about that what could have happened to you if you were ever to get slapped on the back.
I was about to say, what'd you say about my mama? Because you stumbled on your words there. I was like,
I did. I did. This one is called gurning. This requires absolutely no athletic ability, and basically anyone with a face can play. Contestants take turns in making the weirdest, strangest, or most obscure face they can. The winner is the one who makes the best facial expression.
Who determines the best facial expression?
I guess it'd be a crowd vote. This usually happens in a bar, as this sport dates back to the 1200s and is still played in English towns today.
God damn England. All right. I haven't been to England yet. I know I'll be there someday. And whenever I do go, I'm going to try to explain to, whoever I need to talk to, whether it's, King Charles or Prime Minister or whatever, and be like, you need to understand the difference between sports and competitions.
A lot of these have originated in the UK. A lot of these
But they're
sports
not sports,
competitions,
they're competitions.
competitions. Yeah. Well, I couldn't
I
find
mean,
a federation that regulates this sport. However, let it be known that people who do not have all their teeth are among the most successful in this competition.
well, yeah, because your teeth are getting in the way of you doing that. I mean, have you seen like old people? They take their teeth out; they already look funny. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like almost swallow their face.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
All
like
right.
seriously, one of the worst. I mean, I'm terrified of being old without my teeth and eating mashed potatoes because it seems like because all your teeth take up a lot of space, and so whenever they
Mm-hmm.
eat mashed potatoes, like their jaw goes womp 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 womp. They're like their mouth almost comes up over their nose.
Yeah.
So,
Unfortunately, that day will probably be coming for me soon. I see dentures in my future.
ew,
Uh huh.
damn meth mouth.
Yep. I just don't want to keep them in a cup on the sink next to my toothbrush.
Well, at least you'll be able to give your boyfriends gummies now.
Well, the next one, Darrell, is called shin-kicking. Shin-kicking.
Gee, wait, no, hold on. I want to try to
Take a
guess.
guess. Take a guess.
All right. So my guess is I'm assuming this originated in the UK.
Yes,
All right,
yes, actually did.
all right. I'm trying to think. I'm guessing that it came up that this was invented after a mass Chinese migration, and it's a matter of kicking Chinese people into a river. Is that what shin kicking is?
No, that is so far off.
Well,
Shin
it's the only
kicking.
ones I know that have people named Shin.
Oh no, this is actual shin, as in your
Um.
leg shin, not the person's shin. Not that guy.
Oh,
Shin
okay.
kicking, also known as shin diggings, is a combat sport that involves two contestants attempting to kick each other in the shin. They lock up similar to wrestling and begin maneuvering for position for laying in the best kicks to the shin. They
Th-
fill their pants legs with straw for a little extra padding. There's a referee known as a stickler. The sport is a test of pain tolerance, balance, and technique, with the winner being the one who can stay upright the longest or cause their opponent to fall. It has been described as an English martial art.
I wouldn't call it a martial art because I doubt you're gonna be in like a bar fight. And remember like in Austin Powers, judo chop, judo chop. He'd be like shin kick, shin kick. Um, I mean, that being said, I will say this is an actual sport. Uh,
Mhm.
because I imagine you do need to do conditioning and practice and all sorts of stuff like that.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Um, but that being said, this sounds horrifying to me. I
Yes.
mean, this just I could just imagine. I've got little skinny chicken legs, and I could just imagine them just snapping like a toothpick on like the first time
Hmm.
I'm kicked, or hell, if I kick somebody, like my foot's gonna go to 90-degree angle and everything's gonna be wrong.
Yeah. Have your kids ever had a scooter? One of those razor
Yeah,
scooters? You ever
yeah.
pick one up and it swirl on you and kick and hit you in the shin?
No, but that sounds like a
Oh boy.
nightmare.
Oh my god. Let me tell you. I could not compete in that sport. Taking a scooter to the shin will put any man down. I don't care who you are.
I mean, I've banged my shins into plenty of things. Like I don't know
Coffee
if you can see
table.
it, but
Oh yeah.
that coffee table back there, that is like a solid chunk of wood. It is like somebody just took a saw and cut a rectangle out of a big ass fucking heavy tree. And I've
And
wrecked
put
so
legs
many
on it.
things on this. Feet, toes, legs. Yeah, I can't imagine. I can visualize the scooter thing though. I've had other things happen that swivel do that, but
Oh,
it seems like a scooter would be the worst because that real long metal strip
yeah.
just bang.
And it's just perfect spot because you're picking it up by the part they hang on to, the long
Yeah.
handle. So the other parts on the bottom just in perfect swivel range right for your left and right shin. They
No.
don't discriminate. It could hit both of them, one of them. It don't really matter.
Oh, this just that. Yeah. No, I hate this sport, and I hate your story.
Well, yeah. Well, this sport, it originated in England in the early 17th century. It was one of the most popular events at the Cotswold Olympic Games in 1612 until the games ended in the 1850s. In 1951, the games were revived and includes the World Shin Kicking Championship, one of the most popular events. In fact, it is still going strong. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying it is still going strong and draws a great crowd at the Cotswold Olympics. Some of the rules have changed, such as wearing soft shoes, as at one time contestants would wear steel toed shoes.
Oh
Oh,
God.
yeah, it's all about the maneuvering around and not trying to get a hard kick in. Ugh. Well, get
Ugh.
this. We'll get this. This is the worst part. They would also prepare for this event by hitting their shins with a hammer.
I believe it. You seen the movie Kickboxer with Jean Claude Van Damme, right?
He's
Remember
just
that
kicking the
dude
shit out
Tom
of the
Poe?
tree. Yeah.
Well, yeah, not in the but earlier on, that dude's like at the first movie sitting there kicking that concrete pillar
Mm-hmm.
over and over, to toughen up his shins, and I'm just like,
Mm.
I can't even run track on a track because like I run like a quarter mile, and I'm like, oh, shin splints, I'm dying. I
Yeah.
can't imagine. Oh
Mm-mm.
God.
No. Yeah, it's so bad that contestants sign disclaimers before competing. Ambulance crews are on scene for an injury. It is one of the most exhausting, grueling events as matches can carry on for several minutes. The current world champion is Mike Newby from Cheltenham, England, crowned in May of 2024. And in fact, you can buy tickets for this year's event. Search the Cotswold Olympic Games.
We do get a couple of UK people that will either download the podcast or watch us on YouTube. So, if any of you do go out there and see it, hit us up on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok. Any of those things. I want to see video. I want to see
I
your
want to see some
pictures.
shin kicking. I want
I want
to
to
see some
see
shin kicking.
it was when somebody's leg explodes and all the leg goo that gets all over your face.
Man, I bet they swell up and everything.
Ah.
Wow. Well, next one kind of makes me mad a little bit because it's the more you think about it, it's more about discrimination.
I was
The way I
going to
see
say,
it.
is this another animal cruelty one?
No, this one, Darrell, is called toe wrestling.
I hate this already because I hate feet. All right.
Well, this one I couldn't even compete in because, well, I have those conjoined toes. I couldn't do it. Yeah. Well, like arm wrestling, toe wrestling involves two opponents locking toes and attempting to pin each other's feet. In a best of three competition, players must keep their foot flat against the other one, with the goal in pinning them to the toedium. Before each match, the referee checks the feet for warts and infection.
I
Yeah.
hate this.
No cheating.
All
Yeah.
right. One, I'm pretty sure it's big toes.
No,
Right.
no. They put your feet flat against each other and you lock toes. And then you try to pin the other person's foot, just like in arm wrestling. So you're
All
trying
right.
to move
Wait.
with important foot one way or the other.
All right. So then it's going to be those people with like those finger toes,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
like
couldn't do
monkey
it.
toes.
Yeah.
I've got little tiny ones. I got little midget toes. I couldn't pull that off, but gross. That just even the thought of like seeing 2 feet join like that, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh god, ban it, censor
Yeah.
it. I want it blurred out like porn.
Well, this sport was created in the 1970s in a
Foot
Derbyshire.
fetish freak.
Well, he's from England. Another one from England, and a Derbyshire pub in Stratfordshire, England, by 4 drinking mates who wanted to create a competitive activity that England would be good at. I guess they have
I
a lot
guess
of
they all have
long toe
funky,
people.
deformed, long toes. I was telling you, brothers, just hold on. What we gotta do is just lay down, lay down. Put your feet on mine. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry, lock your toes. Sorry, yeah, no, I wasn't doing it just to feel your feet. I promise. That's what it got. That's what it was.
Yeah,
He wanted
just
to. He
turned
wanted
into
to
it.
touch his homie's feet, feel him rub. He was all like too busy touching himself, and then his friends all like, "What are you doing over there?" And he's like, "Oh, sorry, we got to lock toes."
Well, the World Toe Wrestling Championship is held annually in Derbyshire, England. The most well-known player is super champion Alan Nasty Nash, with at least 14 wins called Golden Toes. Other Other notable toe wrestlers include Lisa Twinkle Toe Shinton and Ben Toe Tall Destruction Woodruff.
This is
Alan
just,
Nat. Yeah, I love their nicknames.
no, it's disgusting. This is filth. This is filth, and I hate it.
Yep. Alan Nasty Nash and Ben Total Destruction Woodruff are the co-owners of the World Toe Wrestling Federation. Each
Oh,
has suffered toe wrestling injuries. Nash has broken at least 4 toes, and Woodruff's ankle has snapped in 2 places. Woodruff has also had his toenails surgically removed.
oh, ew! What kind of albino freaky nasty? No,
Yeah, I'm
I
not
mean,
sure
toenails are
why.
gross as it is, but I mean, like, I mean, you're talking about some uncanny valley, weird, gross shit where it's like that ain't right. That's just wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That is wrong, and he's gonna go to hell. The guy put toenails on toes for a reason.
Yeah, it'd be weird. Just have a fleshy looking nubs down there.
I'm pretty sure that's what his toenails do. That's the only thing I can think of that they do is they hide as much of the nasty ass toe as they can. The noble toenail. Oh god, I can't even say it.
The
Ah,
noble toenail.
it's so bad. I hate it so much.
uh,
Ugh.
well, here's the next one. Next one's pretty popular actually. It's the wife carrying competition or the wife carrying sport.
Okay.
This is a contest in which the man or husband carries the woman or wife through a special obstacle track, racing against other couples. The man may carry the woman in three ways: either a classic piggyback style,
Okay.
a fireman's carry, which is over your shoulder,
Over the shoulder.
yeah, or the Estonian style, which is think of the Alabama Slam for wrestling fans,
Oh,
but for
okay.
anybody else, it's the wife's
Over the
upside
neck.
down. Yeah, the
Yeah.
upside down on the back with her legs over the neck and
Oh, that
shoulders.
way.
Yeah, where
Oh,
she's kind of
wow.
posting up on your back, on your butt area, and
I
you
was
have
gonna say
her
that's how
legs
you
out
hold a
here.
woman upside down when you want to fart in her face.
I almost got her in like the Alabama Slam position
Yeah,
where you're gonna flip her over.
that's
Uh,
that. I don't see how that one would be better. I mean, fireman carry. I could do that one. That's the easiest way to pick somebody up is fireman carry.
yeah, somehow they're balancing their weight. It's like distributed better when they're doing it that
All right,
way.
I'm gonna hit you with the preempted question on here
Okay,
because I know inquiring minds want to know: are there weight divisions?
there's a minimum weight requirement, but there's not a maximum.
Okay, all right.
Your wife has to weigh a certain amount before. If she doesn't weigh a certain amount, she has to be
So you
have weight
cannot
added to
have
her.
like some 280-pound gorilla that's nothing but muscle with his 85-pound wife sitting there, you know, twirling her on the finger like a basketball and running.
Yeah, she has to be a certain pounds. I'll get to that one. But there is only a minimum weight requirement. It's not a maximum.
So all right, and okay, I wonder if there's like a height requirement because, like, you could have a heavy tall woman that would be
Hmm.
a little easier to carry, but if you had a short round woman, it's harder to carry things that are wider. I don't know.
I know what you're saying.
Anyways, go on
Well,
before I get in trouble.
this sport was first introduced in Finland in 1992. It has been
Um,
told it's pretty recent, right?
well,
It's
no,
not
other
in
than that, it's
England,
just yeah, it's not in England. It's like
right?
wow, yay, the Finnish did something. It's at least instead of gross, it's just moderately offensive.
Hmm. It's been told that a man named Herkko Rosvo Ronkainen, I'm sure I've absolutely butchered that,
I hope not.
aka
I love it.
yeah, aka Ronkainen the robber.
All
This
right.
man was said to be a robber sometime in the late 1800s who lived in a forest. He allegedly ran around with his gang of thieves causing harm to villagers. From what has been found, there are three ideas as to why or how the sport was invented. Firstly, the Rosvo Ronkainen and his thieves were accused of stealing food and abducting women from villages in the area he lived in, then carrying these women on their backs as they ran away, hence the wife or woman carrying. The second suggestion is that young men would go to neighboring villages and abduct women to forcibly marry, often women who were already married. These wives were also carried on the backs of the young men. This was referred to as the practice of wife stealing. Lastly, is the
Wait,
act.
I
Go
need
ahead.
to comment on this.
Go
This is
ahead.
I
Comment.
just, like life is so much easier before Tinder. So so much easier.
You just walk to a village, pick out somebody, and walk
Yeah.
away with them.
Where are you going, Bjorn? I'm gonna go pick up some ladies. Okay. Where are you gonna pick her up? Jeff, that asshole Jeff in the next town over. I fucking hated that dude. His wife's way too hot for him. I'm gonna go steal her.
I'm just gonna go take her.
Yeah. She'll get used to it after a month or two.
And lastly, the third idea that Rosvo Ronkainen trained his thieves to be faster and stronger by carrying big, heavy sacks on their backs, from which this sport evolved. So they just
Um,
swapped out the heavy
I was gonna
sacks for wives.
I was gonna say, yeah, they're just like we trained with the fattest women.
Um, though the sport is often considered a joke, competitors take it very seriously, just like any other sport. Contests are held in Australia, the US, Hong Kong, India, Germany, the UK, Finland, Sweden, and a few other parts of the world. It is governed by the International Wife Carrying Competition Committee, and these are the rules of this weird event. The most important rule is to have fun when carrying a wife. This is actually a rule written in the rule book. You must have fun, damn it.
I think I think that rule is for the ladies mainly because the guy he's gonna have fun in a race, but
Mm.
if he's got some nagging woman who's lugging over his back, she's like, "Run faster! You're not doing as good. My ex-husband ran way faster than you," and that's the ones that you carry in the Alabama or Estonian one. So then you sit there and eat Taco Bell before the competition, and you just rip ass on her face during the whole thing. My mouth was open. When's it not? Anyway, you may continue.
I may have hit a little close to home there.
No, I'm
Old
happily
home,
married.
old home, old home. All right. The length of the track is 832 feet, or 253.5 meters. The track has two dry obstacles and a water obstacle about 1 meter deep. Yeah, the wife to be carried may be your own or the neighbor's, or you may have found her further afield. The wife must, however, be over 17 years of age. And the minimum weight of the wife to be carried is 49 kilograms or 108 pounds. If she
What?
weighs, yeah, so if she weighs less than that, she will be burdened with a rucksack containing additional weight to bring the total load to be carried up to the
All right.
108 pounds.
All right, hold on. We need weight divisions on this because that's just not fair. I'm sorry. It's like if we had just in the states in the U.S. if we had competitions and you had like all the little beach body people, the little 108-pound ladies, but
Mm-hmm.
then you get like them like corn-fed Nebraska girls that are, they're not fat but they're stout. That they should not be. Uh, you know they shouldn't be isolated. Not isolated. They shouldn't automatically lose to those little skinny bitches.
They could always switch the
Although
roles and carry the husband.
maybe it could. The one other thing you said there's a water competition part where it's about a meter of
Mhm.
water, so
Yeah.
3 feet of water. Again, that is the reason for the Estonian and Alabama.
Oh,
It's like, oh, I'm so tired. I just got to rest here for a moment. Oh, it's okay. Why do you stop kicking? I'm trying to rest.
you said you were thirsty.
If you'd shut your mouth like I fucking told you to, you would be able to breathe right now, wouldn't you?
Water's good.
You were bitching about me farting in your mouth. I'm trying to help you clean it. You cunt.
Yeah. Rinse. Yeah, yeah. Two dry obstacles and a water obstacle. It's not just a run down the track type of race. You got to do shit while you're carrying her. The
Oh,
only equipment allowed is a belt worn by the carrier and a helmet worn by the carried. The
okay.
contestants run the race two pairs at a time, so each heat is a contestant in itself. Each contestant takes care of his or her own safety if deemed necessary by insurance. There's only one category in the World Championships, and the winner is the couple who completes the course in the quickest time. Also, the most entertaining couple, the best costume, and the strongest carrier, that's the contest you might be talking about. Strongest carrier will be awarded a special prize.
Here, I wish I could think of like those strong men. There's like those big muscly guys that carry
Mark
like
Henry,
the.
Mark Henry.
No, not well, yeah, but I wanted one of those. Like, what was it, Tor or Thor, whatever. They always got those like Nordic names. It's
Like
like,
Magnus.
yeah, like Magnus Rasmussen is
Mhm.
carrying his 400-pound wife down through the race
Gerda.
today.
Yeah.
Yeah, my name is Gerda. This is all muscle. I train with Magnus. Anyway,
Those strongman events have gotten crazy too. Some of the stuff they're doing now.
oh, when they're like pulling airplanes with their teeth and shit.
Yeah, I mean they're throwing these heavy kegs over their head. There's one called the Hercules strain or something where they have like two giant pillars, and they're holding on to them with one
Oh,
arm, and then they let them go, and they're just basically almost getting quartered holding up these giant pillars.
the one where they hold the big concrete balls and have to run down the beach. Like I can't even run down the beach without a giant ball. You
With a
know,
beach ball.
yeah, that's even hard.
Yeah. Well, speaking of balls, the next one's on fire. It's called fireball soccer.
Oh,
A
I'm
type,
intrigued.
yeah, yeah. They finally found a way to make soccer not boring. It's a type of soccer played in Indonesia to welcome the month of Ramadan. The ball is replaced with a ball made from coconut shells that is soaked in kerosene. They light the coconut on fire, soak all the players in salt and non flammable spices, say a little prayer, and start kicking the ball with their bare feet. Players are said to train their spirit and go through a special ritual that apparently makes them impervious to fire.
And what drugs are involved?
None. Fireball?
Ah, if I'm thinking my
Maybe
spirit is
alcohol?
making me impervious to anything, I'm on something.
Oh.
I mean, I ain't saying it's necessarily bath salts, but something.
Well, it was invented, Fireball Soccer, or Sepak Bola Api, was invented in East Java to test students' courage. In fact, players go through a special ritual that supposedly makes them impervious to the fire. They fast for 21 days before the big match, recite their special prayers, and go through what they call matagini. They fasting 1 day and night without sleep. So they don't eat for 21 days, and then they go without sleeping for an entire day.
I was on board with this sport at first, but that's just too much work.
Yeah.
I ain't about that life. No.
No. They say
But
after going through these stages, players no longer fear fire, so they are able to play barefoot and even use their torsos and heads to handle the ball.
I can light a soccer ball on fire and kick it. I ain't saying it ain't gonna hurt or ain't gonna cause a giant wildfire disaster, but I
Yeah,
don't think I need to like starve myself and pray
yeah.
for
This
it.
was more of a traditional type thing. It's not. I couldn't really find any sport that regulated it or a company that regulated it, and I couldn't find any like popular players. It's just more of a thing they do during the month of Ramadan.
More of a ceremony.
More of a ceremony. Yeah.
It's a ceremonial sport, kind of like that Aztec one where they would hit the ball through the hoop with their hips.
What?
What?
I don't know that one.
What? Oh, dear God, Jason, we learned it in Texas history 1992.
Oh, you mean like 40 years ago?
Wasn't 40 years
30.
ago. Yeah.
That's a long ass time ago.
All right. So in the Aztecs and I think the Mayans too, or it might be the Mayans and not the Aztecs. One of them, they had these stone hoops, and then they would have these balls. It was essentially just a bunch of bound leather and stuff. So it's
Mm.
not anything that bounces like a basketball. And they would get on these teams, where you'd have a hoop on each end, and it's sideways. It's not like a basketball goal. It's like
Like
this.
Quidditch.
No, because
Or the
Quidditch
hoop
was
is
still
sideways.
facing, yeah, sideways. And so they would have to move the ball, and the way they move the ball is with their hip. They would hit it with their hip. They weren't kicking it or throwing it. They would bounce it to each other from hip to hip to hip. Really weird. And then they would shoot it through the hoop that way.
Yeah, just before arms or something.
No, it's just that you're talking about Aztecs and Mayans. These are bad motherfuckers that fought
Yeah,
for
make it harder.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, everything was supposed to make them toned and better, stronger. Because if you were in a Mayan or Aztec, I don't know if the Incas were quite. No, Incas were probably as bad, but a lot of them, what they would do is whenever they would fight in these wars and battles and stuff, they did not fight to kill. They fought to injure or maim. The reason that they did is then after the battle, winner gets to take the other ones as slaves or sacrifices.
Mm.
And being a sacrifice is not fun. They sit there and cut your heart out, shove you down the pyramid. You go tumbling down the steps because there was a blood god, and they had to make sure that as much blood covered as much of the steps as possible. So,
Wow.
yeah, I would get really good at a sport that would help me be flexible and make me dodge and wiggle my hips really good. Because
Man.
the things that they would swing at each other they were never sharp, but they were blunt and really good at swinging. They'd break your arms and legs and stuff, but they didn't want you dead, not until they were ready.
Wow. That's pretty cruel.
Yeah, I mean, hey, on the plus side, kicking the fireball, nobody gets hurt.
I don't know how. Maybe it's all that spices they rub on each other beforehand. It's
Yeah,
code for something else. Yeah.
no, 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 not over there. Indonesia is one of those places. Don't fuck around.
Well,
You don't fuck around there.
well, the next one is called Kabaddi. It's Kabaddi. This unique sport is a combination of wrestling, tag, and defend a sock. Two
Ooh.
teams of 7 players stand on opposite sides of a field and take turns sending a raider into the opponent's territory. The defenders must link arms that cannot break their chain. The raider attempts to tag the defenders while they try to stop him from returning to his side. They
So
basically
it's Red
run
Rover.
kind of like Red Rover and tag wrestling. They send one person to that side. They try to tag them, but they don't want them to come back. They just keep trying to do that back and
So
forth.
they have to. You have to run into them and touch
Yeah,
them,
and tag
right?
somebody, and then try to run back.
So okay, so you can get away with just touching one,
Yeah, you're trying to tag one of their people, but if you come back to the line, that's when the next person goes and tries to tag somebody else.
but they're all gonna grab you while you
Yeah, they're not going to
unless you're
let
the
you
guy
go.
that unless you're the guy in the middle and they're just like this while everybody else is doing all the work and you just have to try to
Absolutely.
keep up with them.
Yeah, the sport combines elements of rugby and wrestling as opponents struggle to keep one another from being tagged and returning to the opposing side. It's like trying to keep them from getting that sock back to their side.
Yeah. So this makes me also sit there and think, like, how do you get stuck being the middle guy on this? It's
I don't know.
like I
It's
want
a
to
huge
play. It's
sport.
like, no, you suck.
It's
we
a
want
huge sport.
we want George because he's left-handed, Phil because he's right-handed. I'm ambidextrous. I don't give a fuck what you are. You're in the middle. That's what you are, bitch. Just sit there and run when we tell you to run.
This sport originated in ancient India with references to the sport as far back as 1500 to 500 BC. It is also linked to Buddha and Lord Krishna,
Ooh.
right? There are several variations of this game today, from playing on sand, indoor, or in a circle. It is the
Mm-hmm.
second most popular sport in India. Can you guess the first one?
Football? No, it's cricket. Actually, sorry,
Yeah.
India's cricket.
Oh, yeah, cricket. Cricket. And gaining popularity in countries such as South Korea and Iran. It is also the national sport of Bangladesh. It has
Oh,
been a medal event of the Asian Games since 1990, and the Pro Kabaddi League was established in 2014 that include teams such as the Jaipur Pink Panthers, the Bengaluru Bulls, and the Patna Pirates. And their logos look awesome.
uh, yeah. I want to see some promos. They'll be like, "I'm gonna rock Kabaddi."
Yeah, I mean, it's rough, it's tough, it looks pretty awesome.
Looks like everything that cricket isn't.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried watching cricket. It is very confusing. I don't understand it. I don't know how they can equate it to baseball. It's nothing
I've
like baseball.
seen at a park over by here. There's a cricket league. People go and play cricket.
Yeah, supposed to be
Means
building
I
a
live
big
around
cricket
people with too
stadium.
much money.
Supposed to be building a big cricket stadium somewhere out in Frisco too.
Doesn't surprise me.
Now, I have one more. I don't know if I want to hang on to it for the next episode or go ahead and just say it now.
It's up to you. I ain't gonna tell you what to do.
Well, since we're at this mark, I'm going to go ahead and hang on to this one because this one's a really good one that I want to spend some more time on.
These blue balls are brought to you by Jason.
There's a little tease for in part 3 of the wide world of weirdo sports. I mean, excuse me.
That's my line.
Mm-hmm.
Are
Go
you
ahead.
ready?
I'm ready.
The wide world of weirdo sports, part 2. Right?
And part 3 coming. Where am I at? All right.
Freak my dog out with that.
It's a great announcing voice.
Yeah, it's okay, buddy.
Now, look at one of these game sports from either episode and let me know which one is the most barbaric or just looks like the most fun.
Hey, I'm just grateful we don't have any mean animal bad ones this go around because I was pissing me off last time.
Yeah, no goat one this time.
Or ferret.
Ferret. Oh yeah, that was a good one too. Ferret legging. Look it up.
Ugh.
Yeah. Join us next week as Darrell changes out of his 80s coaching gear into something with a low-cut neck and regales us with a topic that made him say, "Waywut?"
I never wear anything low cut.
I know, and it pisses me off.
Like you haven't seen my titties.
I have. They're hairy.
Yep.
Well, catch y'all next week. See y'all later.
Alrighty. Bye. Thank you for joining us for Waywut. If you would, tell your friends or your enemies that they can watch us on YouTube or Rumble. And if you don't want to see our face, or if they don't want to see our faces, you can listen to us on your preferred audio platform. That's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Pandora, you name it, we're probably on there. Please like, review, and comment on whatever platform you joined us on today. We'd appreciate that a ton. Again, just thank you for listening and watching. We hope you'll join us next time. We'll make you say, "Wait, what?"